NFL's next big trend? It might be the two. Of course, the idea isn't exactly new. In fact, it has been happening to a degree lately, as well as for some time now, even back to the single wing days. But in the slower those developments often are met in the NFL at first with suspicion. But if they work I think at some point, one of the big things will be having multiple people on the field who can throw the ball, Taylor said Monday to Philadelphia area media. That's something going. I think at some point I can see something like that coming into play. I am not and it appears that other NFL teams are buying into this idea. Or at least willing. The Los Angeles Chargers drafted QB Easton Stick in round 5 and have been mum on his immediate plans, but it appears he's got the ability to The Baltimore Ravens now fully unconventional with Lamar Jackson running the offense. Drafted Trace McSorley in round 6, and he has head coach John Harbaugh said, as a possible trick play specialist with great running skills plus the ability to throw. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers signed undrafted Nick Fitzgerald, the SEC's all-time leading QB rusher, to toy with the idea of being Bleacher Report's Mike Tanier did a nice job from Cordell Stewart to Pat White to Bet Tim Tebow. Maybe. But every few years, it also always seems to come back around for another pass. Or a run. You get these guys coming out of college that were dual-threat quarterbacks who had to transition to receiver and different things like that, Taylor said. It's just a way to. Credit should go to the New Orleans Saints, who now have successfully implemented a 2 QB package with Drew Brees and Taysom Hill as key envelope pushers. Other teams have but the Saints took this idea to a new level last season. That Brees is Hill wears number 7. Hess as a QB, starting in Week 3 against the Atlanta Falcons. Saints head coach Sean Payton enhanced his reputation as a mad offensive scientist, willing to try just about anything at any time when he unleashed his Taysom Hill package, with Hill running the ball 3 times for 39 yards. Hill would go on to, with each week there seemed to be even more wrinkles. In fact, Hill averaged nearly 13 offensive snaps a game lined up as a QB, a receiver, and even as a tight end for the final 14 games, finishing the season with 37 rush attempts, 7 pass attempts and 7 targets as a receiver. In the Saints' Hill also tied for the Saints' lead in special teams snaps with 343 last season, ran back 14 kickoffs and even blocked a punt that was recovered for a touchdown against Tampa Bay. Suddenly, Brees might have been hesitant to break his own rhythm during the game at first, but it appears as if he bought into the idea of making the most of his versatile teammate in various ways. It's kind of a learning process, And I think because of 46-man game day rosters, NFL teams only have so much they can do with their players. It's a lot easier. The NFL has used variations of trick plays and more open-ended offensive packages involving but that's not exactly innovation. What the Chicago Bears, they became one of the more fun teams in football last year when new head coach Matt Nagy unleashed a dizzying array of trick plays during a 12-4 season. Backup QB, Nagy also called on non-QBs to throw passes, such as RB Tariq Cohen with no time left in regulation to tie the game, and WR Anthony Miller to Daniel, making his first start with the team. O.T. Bradley's, perhaps there's a blend of what Payton did with his quarterbacks and what Nagy did with a big chunk of his roster that could be more of what we see sweeping through the league this season and beyond. But a big part of this, McSorley is no stranger to from his Penn State days, and he started out as a defensive back, so the possibilities in Baltimore could be pretty diverse. The Ravens could keep, and like McSorley in Baltimore, Stick likely isn't going to be Philip Rivers' backup in Los Angeles, as they have Tyrod Taylor and Cardale Jones on the roster. So if Stick is, other true quarterbacks such as Danny Etling in New England and Fitzgerald in Tampa Bay, who are on the punt team, might be doing it as a way to stick on the active roster. That appears a little. Whether this type of position change becomes a verifiable trend or not remains to be seen. But it's clear that more from Yahoo Sports.
Raindrop, drop top smoking, no cooking the hot pot. Fucking on your bitch, yeah, that. Looking up, open the park pot.